The air crackled with relief and joy. Inazuma City was safe again. Yoimiya, exhausted but exhilarated, joined the other warriors. They had defeated the mighty serpent god, Orobashi's rage embodied in the form of Magu Kenki. It had been a grueling battle, but they had triumphed. Mualani, her lavender hair escaping its braid, pulled Yoimiya into a hug. "We did it!" she exclaimed, her voice breathless. Yoimiya laughed, the sound bright against the fading tension of the battle. "We did," she agreed, squeezing Mualani back. The celebration lasted late into the night, but eventually exhaustion claimed even the most energetic reveler. Mualani, ever the thoughtful hostess, invited everyone back to her home. Yoimiya, already feeling her eyelids drooping, readily accepted. Mualani's home was a comforting haven of soft light and warm colors. The main room, where they decided to sleep, was a jumble of fluffy beanbags, plump pillows, and thick mattresses. Plush pufferfish, a memento of their victory, lay scattered amongst them. Yoimiya sank onto a beanbag, a contented sigh escaping her lips. The others, equally weary, settled around the room. A low table in the center held a tray of steaming tea and sweet treats. It was the perfect ending to a long day. "Let's tell scary stories." Hu Tao, never one to let a good opportunity slip by, piped up from her perch on a pile of pillows. Her eyes, usually bright with mischief, glittered with an almost predatory glee. Yoimiya couldn't help but smile. Even exhausted, Hu Tao was a force of nature. The others, drawn in by her enthusiasm, murmured their agreement. The room grew darker as the last rays of sunset faded. Shadows stretched and danced in the flickering candlelight. Hu Tao, a natural storyteller, held them all captivated with tales of mischievous spirits and restless yokai. Her voice, a hushed whisper, sent shivers down Yoimiya's spine. She found herself leaning closer to Mualani, seeking comfort in their shared fear. Mualani, sensing her unease, offered a reassuring smile and squeezed her hand. As the stories continued, Yoimiya felt her eyelids growing heavy. The line between reality and fantasy blurred. The shadows seemed to writhe with unseen life. And Mualani's comforting presence beside her felt more real, more intense than ever before. Yoimiya drifted off to sleep, her mind still buzzing with Hu Tao's stories. But instead of restless spirits, her dream took her to a place of ethereal beauty. She stood on a beach of shimmering white sand, the grains like tiny diamonds beneath her bare feet. The air was warm and sweet, filled with the scent of salt and an unknown, intoxicating fragrance. The sea, a breathtaking shade of crystal blue, shimmered under a sky ablaze with color. And then she saw her. Mualani, her hair adorned with delicate seashells, stood at the water's edge. Her lavender eyes sparkled with laughter, reflecting the impossible hues of the sky. She beckoned Yoimiya closer, her smile as warm and inviting as the sun-drenched sand. Section 5, Hand in Hand. Without hesitation, Yoimiya ran towards her. The sand felt cool and soft beneath her feet. The air thrummed with a joyous energy that seemed to resonate deep within her soul. As she reached Mualani, their hands met, fingers intertwining. Mualani's touch sent a jolt through her, a spark of something new and exhilarating. They laughed as they ran into the shimmering water, the waves crashing gently around their ankles. The water, surprisingly warm, felt alive against their skin. It was as if the very island were welcoming them, enveloping them in its magic. Yoimiya couldn't remember feeling so free, so happy, and it was all because of Mualani. Section 6. The Confession. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in fiery hues of orange and pink, they found themselves sitting on a smooth, sun-warmed rock. The waves whispered secrets to the shore, the only sound besides the gentle beating of their hearts. Yoimiya, her gaze fixed on the horizon, felt a warmth bloom in her chest that had nothing to do with the setting sun. "Yoimiya," Mualani began, her voice soft as the sea breeze. She turned to face her, her lavender eyes filled with an emotion that took Yoimiya's breath away. I think I'm in love with you." The words hung in the air between them, charged with a weight Yoimiya had never experienced before. Her heart pounded in her chest, a frantic rhythm against her ribs. Section 7. A Rude Awakening. Before Yoimiya could respond, the ground beneath them lurched. The sand shifted, the once gentle waves growing into towering giants. The sky, a moment ago a canvas of vibrant color, turned a sickly green. Mualani cried out, reaching for Yoimiya as the world dissolved around them. Yoimiya's eyes flew open. Gone was the beautiful beach, the warm sun, the intoxicating feeling of Mualani's hand in hers. She was back in Mualani's room, the remnants of her dream clinging to her like sea foam. The room was filled with a cacophony of panicked shouts and the clatter of falling objects. "Earthquake!" someone yelled. Section 8. Lingering Feelings. Yumiya scrambled to her feet, her heart still racing from the abrupt awakening. She found Mualani nearby, her face pale but composed. Relief washed over Yumiya, quickly followed by a confusing wave of something else. Disappointment? Longing? She couldn't quite name it. The dream, so vivid, so real, left a lingering warmth in its wake, and the memory of Mualani's confession echoed in her ears, sending a shiver down her spine. "Are you all right?" Mualani asked, her voice laced with concern. She reached out, her hand hovering just inches from Yoimiya's. Yoimiya hesitated, the warmth of Mualani's touch in the dream still a phantom sensation on her skin. I think so," she stammered, suddenly unsure of what to say. Section 9. A New Day Dawns. The earthquake, thankfully a minor one, subsided as quickly as it had begun. As the sun rose, bathing the room in a soft golden light, they all gathered for a simple breakfast. Yoimiya, still lost in thought, picked at her food, the taste bland compared to the sweetness of the dream. She snuck glances at Mualani, trying to reconcile the image of the confident, love-struck girl from her dream with the real Mualani sitting across from her. Was it just a dream? A trick of her subconscious? Or was it something more? Yoimiya didn't have the answers. But as she met Mualani's gaze across the table, a spark of warmth ignited in her chest, and for the first time, Yoimiya wondered if maybe, just maybe, the dream held a truth she wasn't quite ready to face.